Welcome to your video tutorial for how to do your very own at-home root retouch using your at-home kit that you got from me featuring DP Hue hair color. So first things first, thank you for getting this kit. I am so proud of you for not going to box color. I know that this time is crazy. I know that it's probably been way longer than you're comfortable with since your last appointment. I know that those gray hairs are popping through and you don't like them, but I'm so proud of you for being strong and doing things the right way. You won't regret it. I am going to take you through this process step by step, pretty easy, but just in case there's any doubts, we'll do it together, and in no time, your hair is going to be looking much better than it is right now. So, it can only get better from here. First, I want to start off by telling you, number one, this color will stain. It is permanent color. Anything it touches, it will stain. So, I've got my gloves on. Make sure you wear gloves. If you do not have a towel that you want to potentially ruin, you can just wear an old t-shirt or anything that you're comfortable with getting a stain on. I'm going to use a towel, like I do at the salon, with a clip to secure it around my neck. If you don't have that, that's not a problem. Like I said, just wear something old that you don't care if it gets ruined. If this gets on your sink, your countertop, your floor, anything like that, you're gonna wanna wipe it up right away. As long as you wipe it up right away, you'll be fine, but it will stain. So I don't wanna have any like permanent oopsies on my behalf. So make sure you're just kind of careful, but yeah, that's the worst part about this. So in addition to a towel, old shirt, something like that, you're going to use your color brush, something like this that you got in your kit. You're going to have your color bowl with your product in, and then I recommend, if you have one around, a comb always is going to help. So the first thing we're going to do is put on our towel. If you don't have an old shirt on, and just secure it around your neck. The nice thing about this color kit is we're going to get the hair that you see the most. This is not intended for your whole head. There's not enough color for your whole head, and you don't want to actually do your whole head because you might risk covering up your highlights. You might risk having overlapping, which is going to cause problems when you come back to the salon and see me. And you also just can't really see what's going on in the back. So let's stick with what we can see. We're going to stick with what everybody can see. This is a Band-Aid. This is not a permanent solution. We're just going to do this because we don't have any other choice right now and we want to look better, okay? So in your kit, you should have gotten a tube of color and some packets of developer. That kit is intended for 2 applications. Now, it covers up to 1 inch. If it's been a very long time since your last session when you saw me, you might want to use the whole tube right off the bat just to make sure, because each half of that tube is going to cover about 1 inch. Technically, that should be about 8 weeks of growing for most people, but for some people it grows faster, so don't worry about that. Mix up as much as you think you need, knowing that when you're done you do have to throw the rest away. You can't save it. So I am actually not going to use color. I am in solidarity with my clients. You can see my hair is crazy and gray. I'm not coloring my hair, and I won't until I can open again. So I'm just using conditioner today. But you're gonna take your color, squeeze half the tube in, take your first packet of developer, put that in as well, and you're gonna mix it up really well. You can't over mix. So we're gonna mix it up really, really well in the color bowl and make sure it's all incorporated. You want it to be nice and smooth, no chunks. Sometimes there can be some little chunks. Just keep on stirring. The more you stir it, the closer you're gonna get to that consistency that we're looking for. Now, the first thing you're gonna do, take the end of your comb, and we're just gonna make a part right down the middle of your head, okay? So it should be very clear where your outgrowth is here. Should be very easy to see. What we're gonna do, don't ever try and tell me I don't have gray hair. Don't ever, it's there. What we're gonna do is we're going to tap our brush into our bowl, and we are going to apply it just to your new growth, okay? Just to your roots. We're not dragging this down all of your hair. We're just doing the roots. So I'm gonna take a little bit. You don't need gobs and gobs of color. Take a little bit and go right up to the scalp and gently press it on. You can see as I kind of pull it, I'm fanning it a little bit, picking it up at the end of each stroke. And we're gonna go all the way down to that hairline. Beautiful. Then, after we're done with one section, we're gonna go over about a ½ an inch. Again, run it straight back. Make another part. Now, when you do that, on the bottom part over here, which was previously on the bottom of your last part, you're gonna see product, which is great. We want that there. We're gonna blend that in the other side. Beautiful. So now we have that last section, both the top and the bottom are colored. Go to our next section. We're gonna just drag it right on top of that regrowth. Now remember, we're only doing our part. So my part, I'm doing 2 little pieces on this side. My part's on this side of my head. So I went back to the other side, another about a ½ inch. Gently. We're not like shoving this in and pushing it, just very gently. Another ½ inch. We're almost to my part here. Each time I make a part, I'm getting a little bit more color on my brush. This is my part, so I'm gonna do one more section just to make sure we don't have any peeking through in case my part shifts a little. Perfect. So now you can kind of see I have this chunk of hair from here to here, which is my entire part, has color on it. The last thing we're gonna do is go back and we're gonna do the hairline. Obviously, that's where a lot of our grays come in, so we wanna make sure that's covered. So when we do the hairline, we're gonna pull the color towards the hair shaft, okay? We're not gonna try to pull it down. So we're gonna go right at the root. Sometimes you need to go a little bit on your skin because there's little baby hairs there that you might miss, and the worst thing is if you don't get it on your skin and down on these little baby hairs, you're gonna see grays even after your color is applied and done processing. So if you're worried about staining your face, you can put a little petroleum jelly right on your skin. Otherwise, we're not really going anywhere. You can just scrub it off. That's probably what I would do. But if you're really self-conscious about it, little petroleum jelly, just don't let it touch your hair, because if the petroleum touches your hair, it's not gonna allow the color to penetrate. So again, I'm going back, pulling this through my hairline. Only what I'm outgrown. So for me, that's a little over an inch. Get these little tiny hairs, these baby hairs. Finish up this side. Now, we've pretty much completed our application. If you have leftover product, you can go back and put a little bit more on. What I would recommend doing, you don't have to do this, but I would recommend it is, it's called a cross check. So we applied our color going towards our crown. What we can do to make sure we didn't miss anything is we can actually do a cross section. And it doesn't have to be a perfect section, but you can see here, there might be a little bit of area where there's color missing. If you do that cross section, just for the part that you colored, you'll ensure that all that hair in there, and most of it is already covered, but you can give it a little once over and do that. When in doubt, add color to your hairline. That's always going to be the area that gets the grayest and is the most stubborn. After that, if you have a comb, use the wide side, don't use this side. I always, and you'll realize this, that I do this when you come in for your appointments, I always comb it through a little bit. It's just gonna soften that line. This color is kind of made so it works for many people. It is not customized. It doesn't have the tones that I add. It doesn't have the formula that I add. It's kind of just a neutral color that's gonna work for everybody. So we don't wanna have a stark line between the new color and your old color. So what I recommend is taking the big section and gently combing. Now, we're not gonna like comb this hard down against your head. You don't wanna do that, but you can gently kind of pull it through so it just kind of feathers into that old color and it'll blend perfectly. So I'm just gonna go through, do that. You don't want your hair stuck hard against your head. We got to give that color some air to breathe. So always make sure you kind of, at the end, floof it up a little bit so it's not right on your head. It'll get lots of air. It needs oxygen to breathe. So we're gonna do that. If you wanna do it back, you can. Just kind of pick it up a little bit, just like what I do in the salon. Then if you get any stuff that's way outside of your hairline, you can always go back with a piece of paper towel that's wet and kind of wipe it off. That's a good idea. Once our color is applied, it's really just a sit and wait kind of thing. Recommended time is 45 minutes. If you tend to have a lot of gray or very stubborn gray, or if you're just worried, leave it on 50. It's not gonna hurt anything, not gonna hurt your hair, not gonna hurt your color. Once your time is up, hop in the shower. You're gonna wanna really scrub that out. Use the pads of your fingertips and really just scrub, 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 scrub. If you have to, do it twice. You wanna get all that color off because if you leave it on, it can cause some major irritation to your scalp. So you don't wanna do that. So just make sure it's really rinsed out, really cleaned off with shampoo, condition, and away you go. Super easy. Now, I am not recommending this, but if you were on your own doing an experiment where you thought, I wonder what would happen if I put this on my eyebrows, I'm not recommending this, but if you did that on your own time, of your own free will, I would just recommend that you put it on and then rub it the other way too, just to make sure you get down on all of those hairs. Again, I am not recommending that you do that, but what you do on your own time is up to you. If you have any questions, please let me know. I would love, love, love it if you would share a picture of you either in process or especially after. And if you could let me know how things go for you, I would really appreciate it because sometimes I think people are a little nervous to try new things, which I totally get. But if I can get some pictures of clients who are happy with their results, can tell everybody it's not that big of a deal, anybody can do it, I would be thrilled. Again, I thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your support during this time, and I, honest to God, cannot wait to see you again soon. I am just counting down the minutes until I can open the salon again and chit chat and catch up and make you all beautiful, because that's what I enjoy doing. All right, let me know if you need me. You know where to find me. Have a great one.